In this video, we will be talking about the muscles of the first layer of the sole of the foot, and the first layer is from inferior to superior most. So we have three muscles that are present in the first layer, starting from the medial side to the lateral side. Medial most, we have the abductor hallucis. This is the abductor hallucis, this is the belly, and this is the tendon. So if we start from the origin and end towards the insertion, the origin of the abductor hallucis, basically there are 3 points of origin. The first one is from the medial tubercle of the tuberosity of the calcaneum. This here is the calcaneum bone. So the origin is from the medial tubercle of the calcaneum of the bone. In addition to this, all of the muscles of the first layer have parts of their origin from the plantar aponeurosis. So the part of the origin of the abductor hallucis is from the plantar aponeurosis, which has been cut in this dissection. And there is also basically there's a medial intermuscular septum coming from the medial border of the plantar aponeurosis, and part of the origin is also from the medial intermuscular septum. This is third. And for the fourth, in case of the abductor hallucis, part of the origin is from the flexor retinaculum, which is again a modification of the deep fascia. So this is it for the origin, and the insertion happens over here at the base of the proximal phalanx, and at what part of it? The medial side of the base of the proximal phalanx. Interestingly, as you can see, we have this muscle which isn't exactly considered a part of this. Over here you can see the lateral head, and over here you can see the medial head of the flexor hallucis brevis. This was the abductor hallucis. So actually, the tendon of insertion of the medial head of the flexor hallucis brevis and the abductor hallucis, they blend in this part. Now if we talk about the flexor digitorum brevis, so the origin of the flexor digitorum brevis, it's from the medial tubercle of the tuberosity of the calcaneum bone, this being the calcaneum. Part of the origin is from the plantar aponeurosis, and the origin is also from the medial and the lateral intermuscular septum, because it is found directly beneath the plantar aponeurosis, so it should be easy to remember. So at this point, which is I guess this is near the head of the metatarsal bones, the tendon divides into 4 slabs which pass into the toes, the lateral 4 toes, and at the proximal phalanx of each of the toes, the tendon divide into 2 slabs, and 2 slabs insert on either side of the middle of the margins of the middle phalanx. Right? I'll go this over in detail. So the muscle ends in 4 tendons. For the lateral toes, this is the medial most toe, these are the lateral toes. So basically, if we assume this is the base of the proximal phalanx, opposite the base of the proximal phalanx, the tendon divides into 2 slabs that are inserted into the margins of the middle phalanx. Right? And basically the flexor digitorum longus tendon, it passes in between these slabs. Right? So while this serves the function of both abduction and flexion of the big toe, this only has the purpose of flexion. The last one is a muscle that is known as the flexor digiti minimi, which is seen over here. but that is not a part of this. The part of this layer is the abductor digiti minimi, which has, as you can see, two heads. So if we talk about the origin, it is again from the calcaneum, but because of the two heads, both from this being the lateral tubercle and this being the medial tubercle of the calcaneum, again from the plantar aponeurosis and from the lateral intermuscular septum. And the insertion happens over here on the base of the proximal phalanx of the fifth toe on the lateral side. And again, this serves the purpose of both flexion and abduction of the little toe. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please like, subscribe and leave a comment.